Golden Triangle. Joining us now, Jerry Toney, the chair of the Golden Triangle Development Link. Jerry, thanks for coming on.
Oh, glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Big day, exciting news. You guys got to be pretty pumped about this big project.
Oh, incredibly excited. Glad to have this out and glad to have it moving forward. So,
yeah.
Huge news for the state.
Absolutely. So, as chair of the board and member of the board, you guys have been working on this. I bet you had lots of discussions in executive session about this project.
This project's gone on for almost a year now, and so a lot of moving pieces. And as most projects like this go, they ebb and they flow.
Yeah.
So you get a lot of momentum, and then it slows down a little bit. Then all of a sudden, at a point, it kicks into gear. And so we're glad to see here at the end that it kicked into gear and kept going. So.
Yeah. When did you find out, Jerry, that they were coming?
Not long ago, actually, just a short window of time ago. Yeah, so we knew that we had a deadline up pretty quick, and so within the last few weeks.
Exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's awesome. So what was the difference maker, do you think? A lot of different factors entered into the decision by the company to make this investment here?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different pieces that came into it. Certainly having an existing presence here. Certainly the willingness of the link to think outside the box when putting together the presentation, the package, and everything. I think with everybody coming together behind the link, supporting it from a political standpoint, all those things kind of play in. So it all kind of fell in together at once.
Yeah. So were you pleased, obviously, and were you surprised, maybe is the better way to phrase it, that the legislature acted so quickly?
Yeah, great. I mean, and how do you not on a project like this?
Sure.
With everything behind it. So, yes. So really, really excited to see it happen as quick as it did. Not have to go into a couple of days of this. But again, slam dunk. No reason not to support this for what this does for our whole state, the region, but the state as well.
Absolutely. So 1,000 very high-paying jobs. I mean, typically we get excited about projects, as we should, that come to an area that pay, say, around the median household income for the state. We're pleased as punch with that. But this one just knocks the socks off of that. It's unusual. I'm not sure we've ever had a project that is scheduled to hire that many people at that level of pay. Yeah,
that's incredibly exciting, especially at a time when you look at the national news and we keep hearing how the national economy is slowing. We keep hearing the recession word. We keep hearing of companies not expanding, not doing things.
Yeah.
Then you get this project. And not only do you get the projects, but you get the jobs at the range that you mentioned.
Yeah.
For a state like ours, southern state, or anywhere for that matter. I mean, that's a great job. That's a great position.
Yeah, and this news, as you know, hits the news wire, the PR news wire, and it matriculates throughout the country. And so you've got other potential suitors that are looking for a site, looking for a place to set up shop, expand into. They see this. And that sometimes will tip them in the direction.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, what caused a company to land in the Golden Triangle, this big of a project, that many jobs? It's on the map now. People are watching. They're looking.
Yeah.
They're looking at what does the Golden Triangle have to offer now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really cool stuff. So, what about the jobs? 1,000 jobs. There's no secret that labor is difficult to come by. And it's very competitive, and it doesn't seem like, honestly, we got the jobs report out this morning. It doesn't seem like we've recovered from the shutdown of the economy in 2020 and somewhat into 21 with the COVID situation. Are you concerned about, is this company concerned about where we're going to get 1,000 people? Of course, they got pretty good incentive to hire people, which is the way the market ought to work. You know, they're paying. What do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I think certainly they will be able to hire the people.
Yeah.
And what we saw the last time when SDI came in, they located, and when you really look at a map of where the jobs are coming from, it wasn't initially just here in the Golden Triangle. It was a pretty big draw. Went into some surrounding states. And what happens over a period of time is a lot of those people find out that I like this job. I like where I am. I like the area. And they move in and they migrate in. And I think that's one of the big things that we've got. You know, the jobs are a huge piece. All of those people won't choose to locate here on day one.
Right.
They'll slowly start working in. But I think we've got a lot to offer from a quality of life standpoint. The partnership's big into that as well. And so I think we'll see we'll see the positions filled.
Yeah, something else we're blessed with in the Golden Triangle area are the education institutions as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, when you look at what's there between what EMCC is doing, Communiversity, and the Link's involvement there. When you look at Mississippi State, MUW, and so no question that will. I think these industries are going to continue to lean on those institutions for research and for other things. So I think it's a win-win all the way around.
Yeah, and it's top of mind. I know you realize this working with the Link and economic development. It's the top of the list for every employer.
Absolutely.
Is where do we get qualified workforce?
Yeah.
Where do we get the labor? And I think the good news there from the Golden Triangle perspective for sure is the willingness to accommodate that by the educational institutions. The Communiversity, for example, is just a great model that we ought to replicate across the whole state.
Completely agree. Absolutely. I mean, the advanced training that's there from a manufacturing standpoint, the custom tailored education that's there. I mean, for an industry like this, that's meaningful at a lot of different angles.
Yeah, when the workers complete that training and they're ready to hit the streets running the day they're hired, and they take that burden and expense and cost and just honestly the hassle off of the employer, it goes a long way. It's very valuable.
We had I guess it was 2 or 3 weeks ago, a group of children went to EMCC, and you saw busloads of all these small kids going out, really kind of looking at what else is out there from an advanced manufacturing standpoint.
It's awesome. So it seems like once this happens, I got to believe we're going to see a little bit of a hub sort of forming, an economic hub, because that's one of the things that Joe Max highlighted, and needs to be highlighted, is all the customers that are likely to locate in the vicinity. And they're going to be hiring lots of people as well and producing economic activity and paying taxes, et cetera. I mean, it's just that's the way you do it.
Look at the impact of that. And not only the jobs that are coming in with this, to your point, the feeder institutions that are coming in, working with suppliers and so forth. They're not only locating here, but they're going to sporting events or eating in restaurants in the Golden Triangle. They're spending money. They're paying property taxes. And so tremendous impact for the region.
Well, it's a big day. It's a great day, certainly for the state of Mississippi. And it's also it's good to see the private sector, the public sector getting along here and working together towards the common good, which is really what we should be doing. And I was pleased that all of our state leadership also was on the same page. You know, they put the politics aside and realized that this is something we got to do for the good of the state of Mississippi. And they got it done.
Yeah, how do you not say no to a project like this? I mean, it's a slam dunk all the way around.
Yeah, absolutely. And you have so much to sell here in the Golden Triangle. Yeah. And Joe Max is an outstanding salesperson.
He absolutely is. He's the best.
Yeah, and he's often the first person they interact with from the area, as you well know. He and his team, and he has incredibly perceptive attention to detail, is what I would say about him, and that makes a difference when you're selling. Anybody in the sales business knows that.
He does. He thinks outside of the box. He's incredibly creative. And some of the things that Joe comes up with, I mean, we're always floored of, just the ability to make things happen. He doesn't just sit and wait. He's an action guy.
Yeah, it's awesome. Is there? I know a lot of times in your role with the Link board, you guys talk about economic development projects in executive session, which means they're not for public knowledge. Can you give us any information whatsoever about some stuff you may be working on, at least at a high level, that you're permitted to disclose?
Yeah, this project has consumed a lot of time. It truly has. There's a number of other projects that are still kind of on the radar. We'll kind of get back into some of that. One of the things that isn't widely known is the amount of time that goes into a project.
No doubt.
Behind the scenes, you can't talk about it. You're putting together all the packages. You're doing all the behind the scenes work, making the package just perfect like this one was. And then for whatever reason, something outside of your control at any level, the project goes somewhere else.
Yeah.
And so it's easy to celebrate this. This is fun. We'll get back on some of these other ones here pretty quickly and get some more momentum.
Yeah, and I know it's It's a win-lose kind of deal, and that's just the function of free markets. That's the way it works. But you just got to pick yourself up and keep going at it, and things just work out.
Exciting times.
Yeah. Jerry, thanks for coming on. Jerry Toney, chair of the Golden Triangle Development League. Appreciate it. Congratulations, Jerry.
Thanks so much.
Awesome
Thanks.
job, you and the team, the board, and Joe Max and his team as well.
Thanks again.
Yes, sir. We're going to take a break right here. We're in the Element Well Studios, the Greater Starkville Development